We've already come a long way in our game, but no game is awesome without particle effects. Now, particle effects in a 3D game is basically everything that you see effects-wise going on in the game. So for example, if you're walking through a castle and there are torches of fire on the wall, then the fire would be a particle effect. If you, for example, cast a spell, then all those magic stuff that comes out of the sky is also a particle effect. If you blow something up or an explosion, that's a particle effect. And if there's smoke or water spraying, then you can be sure that that is also a particle effect. So as you can imagine, there is a lot that you can do with particle effects, and it's a pretty complex matter to get into. Of course, I'll help you to make this as simple as possible. And first, to do this, let me get rid of the animation tab here. Let me just close it so that we have some more room in 3D space to move around with. Now, in Unity, particles consist of multiple things. So for example, if I look at my components and then under particles, you can see there's ellipsoid particle emitters, mesh particle emitters, particle animators, world particle colliders, and some other trails and particle renderers. And that is a lot to cover. Now, a mesh particle emitter, for example, is something that emits off of a mesh, so a 3D object. So that could be, for example, a guy that is on fire or burning or something like that. That would be particles coming off of a mesh. An ellipsoid is something that is in 3D space, and it's basically particles over the shape of an ellipsoid. Alright, and then we have our animator and our renderer, and I'll tell you a little bit about that as we start with our particles here in our little game. So what we will do is we will prep our turret first to shoot at us, and of course when he's shooting we need some fire effects out of the barrel, so that's what we'll be focusing on. Now in the last couple parts I've already showed you how to import the turret, and it should be in your models folder right now. So let's grab it and put it into the scene. And as you can see right now, compared with the size of our player, our turret is quite small. So let's bump up the scale to, for example, 2. Let's see what that does. Yeah, that's about big enough. That's what I'm looking for here. So let's move it down so that it sits on the floor. Let's look at our Y view, and let's move it away from the door a little bit too. We want it to be blocking things here. Alright, perfect. Let's focus on it using the F key and then move around so that we can see it from the front. Okay, so as you can see we have two barrels here, the left one and the right one, and we will want to be adding some effects to these. So let's quickly move along and start with basically getting a spark going.